Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Comics Della Morte, episode 56, The Monsters Within Us. I'm your host, Ronnie Gunter, Crimson Isle Comics, and my co-host and the admin who's going to be able to run the show when I'm not around on vacation, my friend, Jason Alexander, Frogbreaker Studios. What is up, buddy?
My hat. How's it
Before we
going,
go,
y'all?
before we go into the comic today, my friend, promote what you got going on as always.
Man, y'all know what it is. Minicomicbundles.com. Let me hit this share real quick. Let me hit this screen share real quick, Ronnie. Give me a second. I'm gonna do this the right way this time. All right, minicomicbundles.com. Y'all know what it is. 250 of each issue that exists. Look at this. We're down to 75 from 250 in the beginning. That's pretty damn cool, guys. That's it. Like let's sell this out, man. Like what a unexpected finish that would be. Like let's just sell this out. Just get them all.
Oh man, I love that face.
Oh dude. Oh man. Drifter has been so awesome. Like I can't believe how good this. Like I knew it would turn out good because I really enjoyed writing it. Like, and I knew that it was like. Was right in Aaron's wheelhouse, like once you get away from like the mechanicals and stuff like we did in Hourglass. And it's kind of fitting because Hourglass was so heavy on like the military and the high tech side of it. This story visually, I feel like is as good as that story was, but at the same time, it deals more with that spiritual side. And it's more of that mystical side of it. And that is what really, that story is awesome. Predictive Text is a 3-part horror. I got the bundles today. Like that, they're in my hands right now. Blackbird was awesome. Very just heavy duty action scene. You know, and this is from the story we ran in one of the first bundles called Green Roses. This is the same character that was the vigilante in that story. This story is kind of like an action story where she breaks into a warehouse. And so it was a fun detour. Like this story turned out really, really well. I didn't expect to see it like this, but it looks really good. Drifter 4, that's the 6-parter. I just got to show y'all a couple of these interiors because you'll dig this, Ronnie. You will really dig this. Like, look at this. I'll show you a couple pages here. Like, check these out.
You solo so it could get bigger.
Yeah, like look at this. Like,
man,
Aaron's
that artwork, amazing.
Dude, this story is so good. It's so good, and I'm not just saying it because it's mine, but look at that. Like, you can't believe the size of these and the quality of the art. You just can't. Predictive Text is a horror story. It probably would put you in the mind almost of and I'm not comparing it to that. So please don't think that's what I'm saying. But the story has a little bit of the soul of a Norman Bates Psycho, but it's definitely not the same story. But it is a very, very solid bundle, guys. $5, you get 3 comics. They're limited print runs, so it's like once one of my big stories, like maybe one day, like it crashes through that ceiling, man. Like these might be little collector's items, or maybe one day Aaron does something where he cracks through, and it's like these become collector's items. So get it, like it's only $5. Like just go to minicomicbundles.com. Pick up the bundles. I bet if you get one, you'll want to see what else we're doing. The bundles are so good, man. I'm so fortunate to have worked on them. Like it's winding down now. Like that was bundle 11. So there won't be any new ones soon. And so it's time to start filling that space with some new stories. And that's kind of what I've kind of taken an onslaught so that I can start 2022 strong and work with some awesome artists like yourself, Ronnie. So let's see what it is.
We got a story in the development. I love this story.
Yep. Awesome. Hey, Rude Eats, man. He stopped by. Yes. He said they can't stay for long, but we appreciate it, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Yes, because I'm gonna be up in Missouri during Thanksgiving, so hopefully I could hang out with my
Ooh,
brother. So
that's awesome, man. I'm so
yeah,
happy for you. That'll be good.
yeah. I'm gonna be back December 3rd, but pretty much I'm gonna be away from work about 2 weeks.
Yep.
So the plan is besides getting ready for my vacation, I am just so close to finishing the panels that hopefully episode 3 will be out before
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
A Vengeful Heart, episode 3,
Yeah.
man. Y'all gotta check
And
out Ronnie's Tapas, man.
and
You gotta check it
I could
out.
definitely say that it has the most action in it. Just by me showing Jason, I think it has the most action in it.
A lot of motion in those pages. And from what you
Yeah,
showed me, man, I can't wait.
yeah, and yeah, and also Landon told us that we could show a little bit more of the pages. Just don't
Oh,
give
nice.
just don't give away big big things away. But
Awesome.
he
Okay. I got you.
he loves the show. He loves what we're doing. So
Okay.
appreciate it, buddy. You know, awesome stuff. So let
Yeah.
me get this going. Do do.
This is the link for the graphic novel, guys. Like,
Yeah,
go check it out. I'll say it's definitely not a book for a younger audience. It
for
does have
sure.
some coarse language. I loved it. I'll say that right off the bat. But I
Yeah.
would definitely throw a trigger warning on this because it's down, it's gritty, like it
Oh
is,
yeah.
but it tells the story the way that it was supposed to be told. And I'll never knock that. I'll
Oh
never
yeah.
knock that. It came out very well.
Hmm. Yeah. So pretty much here, guys, we have like a flashback about 8 years ago with her mom dying, and she's just trying to tell her mom, I guess, is trying to tell her, it won't be gone. Remember your little bunny friend. I'll be living there inside of him by your side. And she's just basically witnessing her mother dying. And you're like,
Yeah, it's
okay,
so
it's
tense.
yeah, it's a sad moment, but then it gets like 180 where literally if I'm not mistaken, she's she's literally now pissed off at her mother for dying because
Yeah,
she's like, you left me with this asshole of a father who's not calling me princess, but he's calling me things like whore and bitch. I mean,
yeah,
so, you know, at that point, we're probably seeing how she became like this child who's like really
yeah.
messed up in the head
Yeah, it's
and
like this is
hurt.
what broke her. And as
Yeah.
it does a lot of kids in real life. Like it's just, and it was tough. It was like her mom died.
Mhm.
Her mom says something like, I'll live inside the bunny with you.
Yep.
And so I'll always be by your side. And her dad is just a human penis head. And
Hmm.
it's like, this is, she feels tortured.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what sets the stage. Yeah, for sure.
But before we go on, I got to give props to Landon's wrap work for the bandages and then the creases on the bed sheets. That's really nice work there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can actually feel
Totally.
that she's so sick that her body's just sinking into the bed because she has no
Yeah.
more strength to keep on going.
Yep.
So it's like,
Yeah.
with her dying, how bodies become like really stiff as a board. You could see
Yep.
that like transition happening into the bed.
Yeah. The artwork in this, like the first issue, the artwork kind of like you knew what you were getting into. But this one
Yeah.
has so many like varied facial expressions. Like now you
Mhm.
get to see a little bit of sadness. It almost does remind you of like this super stylized version of some of the pages we saw in Uzumaki. Like
Yeah.
Junji
Yeah.
Ito's facial expressions were
Mhm.
so like captivating, and it's like exactly like what these characters are thinking through their eyes in Landon's
For
artwork,
sure.
and it goes a long way. It really does.
Yeah. For sure. And now we're just back to on the second page where she's pretty much in the asylum again, and then you have this pervert guy who if you guys followed us before, he's a real pervert. Like he gave her a bunch of like rotten bananas. He was like filling up on her. He didn't like physically, do anything sexual except for touching on her, but that's sexual enough to a lot of people.
Yep.
And he just says some of the nastiest perverted stuff. Like, we're all just food waiting to be served. He. I'm like, yeah, that's a pervert right there, man.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, he kind of, actually looking at it, he looks like a demented version of the perv from Family Guy, because he's bald and everything and
Quagmire.
all
Yeah,
this.
he's just
No,
bald. Yeah.
not Quagmire. The
Oh,
old Jewish.
Herbert. The
Yeah,
old.
Herbert. Yeah.
Yeah, Herbert. Yeah.
If my brother was on, he could do that voice perfectly.
Oh yeah.
He does a lot of great voices. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, man. So far, like, do you have anything you want to talk about that really stuck out with you with this
No, I
issue?
don't. It's just I really love the creative team, and I don't want to give too much of the story away because it is a book
Yeah.
that y'all should go read. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
like I said, like you get into this story because it gets so uncomfortable at times. Like how mean, like nobody likes Bleen. Like and everybody's mean to Bleen, from the other patients to all the employees and the doctors who work here. And
Yeah.
like she doesn't have a safe place. All she has is this bunny.
Yeah, exactly. That's her only friend and comfort zone.
Yeah. And so it's just like now it's like she's always at risk that something is going to happen to her because there's nobody that's like just like her life. There's nobody to look out for her.
Yeah.
Except for this bunny that she feels like her mom lives inside of. And with the way the story goes, like maybe she does. Who knows?
Yeah. But man, I definitely love the action even within it. Like you could see him like literally here in this small panel, like literally tackling her onto the table.
Yeah.
And you could see the terror in her eyes and like the nastiness, because this guy, he's like calling her, a slut and everything, calling her like, a homo. So, because this guy really has a problem with her. I don't know why, but yeah, he's definitely one of these kids that probably have a lot of issues, and he thinks that, hey, I got to make myself being the head macho, so I'm going to bully everyone else.
Yeah. It's pretty tough, but it was supposed to be. So again, I'm not knocking it. I didn't feel like it was like, it didn't take me out of the story like Hellraiser did. It's just it's uncomfortable because it's supposed to be, and it's unpleasant because it's supposed to be. And
yeah, it goes with the story.
Yeah, it's just, as somebody who does enjoy writing a darker story, I appreciate when people just lean all the way into it instead of like tiptoeing around it. Because if you're gonna do it, then you gotta do it. It's gotta count. So, and I felt like in this chapter in particular, like they made the discomfort count, and I say hats off to them for that, for sure.
For sure. So yeah, just one scene I really like here is this cafeteria scene where you basically see all the 4 patients that the 3 patients that pretty much is with her, and you could see like, especially that guy on the end across from her, I guess has schizophrenia or something. You could really see how like bug out he is, and that's just great expression right there.
Yeah, the artwork is A1. Like,
yeah,
it's for what it is, but Landon's artwork has a lot of subtle detail in it. Like, you look at the page and it gets the point across, but if you look at every panel, like there's a lot that goes into these panels. Like they're really well done.
Yeah. And I love how he shows the action that's going on. Like sometimes you'll have artists that will just go through like the scene to try to rush to get to the good stuff. But I mean, no, show the whole conversation. Show like he does here. The girl that she's having an argument with, she's getting mad and then she slams her drink down. Like show that, you know. No, it's actually the other person, but still show
Right.
that action. You know, show like we talked about before. If you have like two people in a kitchen having a cup of coffee, there's different ways you could draw that same area to make the story interesting.
Yep. As I think you're thinking along the same lines that I am. There was a YouTube video I used to watch all the time with Todd McFarlane and
Exactly,
Stan
that's
Lee.
the one I always have to
And
go back
yeah,
to.
and you know, Todd McFarlane says, you know, Stan Lee gives him a compliment about how he can make a mundane page interesting. And Todd McFarlane said, I'm paraphrasing it because I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said, if you can make the cup of coffee on the table interesting, the laser fight on the next couple pages will be easy to make exciting and interesting. And you know, you got them. You know, it's visual storytelling, and so I felt like, you know, this page, like for the stuff that goes on in this story, this page should have been pretty subtle. You know, it's an argument over dinner, but like with the drinking and the cup slamming on the table and the speed from the can sliding and the eyes. This page, like, it pulled you to the rest of the story, and that was pretty much the slowest page in the whole story. Like, for sure. What happens for the next few pages?
Yeah. And pretty much now we're back to her friend, or the monster that provokes her, because if you read the description, pretty much, you know, she's afraid of these monsters coming out to wreak havoc on other people. So she's trying to like hold her inner demons in, because she knows these creatures are going to do something that she doesn't want to happen.
Yeah, if she lets them go, then like she's gonna be out for blood, and she knows it. You know, and she's trying to do it different.
Yeah, and I love how so far it seems like the time where the monster always shows up is where you see a checkered floor.
Yep.
You know, trying to get that across, like, you know, the monster is very complex and probably two-sided. You know, he wants to do something evil, but at the same time, he wants to, almost seems like he wants to make this girl happy by, you know, cheering her up.
Yeah, I got to go back and look at the first issue again. But it almost seems like this monster gets so close to touching her, but it never does.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you know, it's letting you see that she's still holding it at bay. And it kind of exists in the shadows except for its head most of the time. Yeah. But, you know, and again, like, this is kind of where the story, this is the payoff of the story. So I think that this is what you need to buy the book for.
But, exactly.
Needless to say, from this point on, like, the table is set, and it's like you got to double check your seatbelt on this one, because it's very good. It's very, very good. Like, people,
I feel this is going to be another short episode, because I do not want to give the end of this issue away just because it is that good.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of sections too. Like, you don't, it's not just this and then chaos. It's this chaos. Then there's a doggone then there's a writer, Jon Colunga, man.
How you doing?
Man, how's it going?
Oh my gosh, thank you.
But yeah, like, this story, like, because you know, you get a police investigation. Like, this is so good. Like, no, you guys got to go read this book, man. Like, this story, it's coarse, and it's
and speaking,
John,
if you're still here, we gotta get you on the show. We have to get you on the show at some point.
Yeah, man, just let us know.
We got Landon, the artist. We now have to get the writer, because just the things you wrote, is pure horror, and I just love the little twists and angles that you did with this story, where you literally wanted to make it where the reader has to see what happens on the next page. And that's what you have to do as a writer, especially if you're trying to do something in horror or suspense.
Yeah, you introduced me to a new layer of discomfort, and I appreciate it because like that's where I'm like kind of wanting to at least try some of my horror at, and it's like I would love to pick your brain one day about this story because this is a fun story, and it's not something that I would have sought out to read, but I'm enjoying it considerably.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Much more than I thought I would even. Yeah, it's awesome.
Like I said, you have her interacting with the different people, but it seems like, and I don't know if it is for throughout the whole scene, but like I said, with Jon having the character appear in an area with the checkered floor, I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but I definitely, you're trying to set stimulus, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if you're trying to set symbols that will represent like, this creature might represent two different parts.
Yep. No, yeah, it was an intense read. And like I said, those first couple, like after the first page, it got uncomfortable in a few spots.
Yeah.
But it brought you here. Like it's all these things to make you, it's like in any poltergeist story or any ghost story where the ghost attaches to a human, they always say like these traumas like draw power that draws these dark things with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's just a good book in its own because even if you didn't have a monster and she was just in an asylum being like messed around with all these different people, it's still a horror story,
Oh, 100%. That's what makes it awesome.
It's not saying that it's not the same for adults, but when you're a teenager and you're coming to adulthood and you got all these different people like barking at you, ones who are like being perverted towards you, it's even more of a scarier matter because you're still young and you don't know how to defend yourself and see if people will believe you because they're not going to believe you over an adult who's probably been working at that place for many years.
Yeah. Like this is like it's not a superhero book, so don't think I'm saying that. But like this is like a origin story almost. Like Bleen could be like this really, and I haven't read ahead because I like to read these as we're going through them. Mm-hmm. But it's almost like you can see Bleen being this like mega dark, powerful something or other in the future. But like this is how it began. Like because the things that the monster wants her to kill are not. Yeah. It's not like these aren't great people. She hasn't been around any great people. So they've all made a case, in comic book world, they've all made a case for their own demise and it to be justifiable. So I'm very excited to see where it goes.
All right. Is there any other thing you want to talk about? Because like I said, not without running. No, I mean, Jon, sorry you had to come in at the last minute. We didn't want to like go do a fully detail because we want people to buy you and Landon's book because it is that good, and we don't want to really
go support these artists.
Spoilers, but the links are at the bottom. And like I said, Jon, when I come back from vacation and stuff like that, we definitely have to get you on.
Oh man, yeah, for sure. Go get this book, guys. Like I definitely would advocate supporting these artists and creators, and I'll support them because this is a book that is this is a book that shows the power of indie comics. I guess that's the best way to say it because
exactly.
Just because you can't see stories in other places or just because you don't get other stories other places does not mean that they can't exist, and it doesn't mean that they don't have a place. Like this is an awesome comic book. And again, it's not a comic book that I would go pick up at the store, but it is a comic book that I've discovered and I enjoy, and I'll add to my collection of super dope indie comics because
I mean, it's a horror comic. I love my horror comics. You know, I'm doing my own horror comic series. You know, it's like Blockbuster is over now, but then we have the internet, and it's like, oh, Bleen, I love the character design of that monster. I have to read it because it's like going to the movies back in the day, and you see amazing artwork for like a 80s horror.
That's all you had to go on,
movie. And some of those 80s horror B movies become cult classics and become popular than some of the ones that are out now that people like.
Yo, so, yeah. That's exactly what me and Aaron tried to do with the minis.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, if you can open your mailbox and get 3 cool different covers and these teeny tiny things, and then you read them and it's like, oh, these stories are good too. But you get 3 of them. And it's like, that's the fun. Like, you never go to the movies and rent one movie. You know, you get that one and the one beside of it, and then the one you came in here for. And it's like, this is one of those books. Like, this will be this will be a lot of people's favorite thing that they take home that they didn't think it would have been. It's a really good read. Yeah.
Like, you want to do your review on what you think about this issue?
Definitely. I'm gonna stick around that same place I was last week because I also don't want to go big bananas until I see the whole thing. But I'm still in that 8.5 out of 10 range because it's true to who it is, and at that point, you got me. Like, it's a good book for me.
I'm gonna give it a 9 just because it's one of those things. Now you're seeing more development on who she is and what her background is, and now you're seeing more like how these people, you know, are bad people, and you kind of not feel sorry for them because you want these perverts and these jerks who are like probably abusing these kids to get justice.
They gotta pay, absolutely. But no, solid book. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm invested, even if the 3rd issue is not exactly what I would want it to be. I'm in it for the story at this point. Like, I'll see the story through because it's that good. The writing stands up by itself. The art stands up by itself. And as a tandem, it's bigger than the writing and the artist, and the story shines through. And so that's really all you can ask to create. And it's all you could really enjoy from a creator. So top marks for me, sir. I think this is a good book.
And thank you for coming on.
Man, it's really awesome.
In the chats, John. Yeah, I mean, I was actually thinking about contacting Landon and seeing how I could get a hold of you, but now I know.
There you go, man. You're welcome anytime.
Yeah. But, you know, that'll be it. I don't think we're going to... Are you going to do something for Thanksgiving, or are you just going to take the time off for family?
I might do something. I might do something on that Friday. I might do something next Friday. Yeah, I might do something. I won't do anything next Thursday because everybody's probably gonna have an itis anyway. So I'll pick up on Friday, and I might do something. Maybe I'll see if Gary can come on. Maybe we'll do like a movie review or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I definitely want to wait for do the rest of you when I come back.
Yeah, I definitely won't do it without you.
And then since we're only doing 30 minutes, have the remaining 30 minutes probably be with Jon coming on.
Yeah. If not that, maybe we can just hit both issues. Maybe we can just do, because the next 2 chapters aren't very long. So
that's
maybe
true.
We can just, if we got 2 weeks to read up on them, maybe we just read both the chapters and we just knock them both out.
For sure.
Kind of finish the story up. But no, guys, go check out this link. Go get this book. It's good. Like, talk about it with us. Like, it's worth your time. It's worth what it's worth. Go get the book. Support indie artists that deserve supporting, because most of us do. So enjoy it. It's a great book. Landon, thank you for reaching out to Ronnie. Jon, thank you for coming on the show tonight. Even if you were just in the chat, man, we really appreciate it. But
for sure.
Good stuff, man.
But I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Yeah, y'all be good. Take care.